Hey, hello everybody. It's good to be here with all of you today for another Health Data Global Talk. And I'm pleased to have here with me a special guest that is also going to be a special guest speaker and also a Summit Civic member in Porto next month, as or probably this month, as you are going to listen to this broadcast in November. And the pleasure to have Dr. Emmanuel Alexandrakis. Dr. Emmanuel Alexandrakis is the Health Economy Global Strategist at WifOR Institute. Welcome, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, dear Paul.
It's good to have you here with us today. And I'm wondering if you were going to do a little bit of self-presentation. Would you be so kind to share with our audience something that you normally never do not disclose normally in this kind of interviews about yourself?
That's a surprise element. So let's see. So first of all, I would think that one of the most surprise elements that is not really like my professional, let's say, appearance typically, is the fact that I have grown up in a multicultural environment. My father was a diplomat, was an ambassador, so we've lived in many countries. And among the most interesting places that I've been is in Africa and in the Pacific region, in Fiji. So you see myself dressed in Zulus sometimes. That's something very unlike me, very unlike the way that I dress now. So Zulus is the typical Pacific, let's say, dress. They're like skirts that men wear. So that's very unlike me. So that's something that I do not really share much. And it's unlike my professional overall appearance, as I said. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. And tell me a little bit more about the WifOR Institute. What is all about and your role? What's your role inside the WifOR Institute?
So thank you. Thank you for the question. So WifOR Institute is an economic research institute that specializes in health, a lot of the health sector, but also is specializing in impact of any economic activity. So it's an economic research that has global activity in measuring impact. So our job is all about data. Our job at WifOR Institute is creating evidence that would describe how activity translates in terms of its effects into the economy, into the society, into wellness. So we are headquartered out of Darmstadt, out of Frankfurt, Germany. We have offices in Berlin. We have offices in in Leipzig. We have offices in Athens, Greece, our new privately owned offices. And we have activity in Ireland, in the United States, with representations, and we work across the world. What we do is our passion is data, our passion is numbers. So this is why I really like the topic of the forum.
Fantastic. And what's your role in the WifOR Institute? Can you expand, elaborate a little bit on that?
Of course. So I am, as you mentioned before, the Health Economy Global Strategist. So my role is to speak with stakeholders, high-level stakeholders typically around the globe. These are people from ministers, from various ministries, associations, and so on. And my role is to talk about the importance of measuring the health economy. And when we say health economy, we are suggesting, and this is my job, a change in paradigm. We believe that everything that happens in the health sector has an impact that is measured. It's translated into numbers in the rest of society and the rest of the economy. So my role is to raise awareness of the benefits of the health economy and how this health economy measurement, the so-called health economy reporting, could be a very, very smart policy tool that would support our policy making in the economy, to the health sector, into all sectors virtually.
It's really fantastic. I've been already reading a lot of your work and the work of the WifOR. And tell me, what's your stake on health data quality, which is the subject of our summit event this year? What's your stake on health data quality?
Well, let me just allow me, please, to just go a step back. In order to understand if an intervention that for sure is related with some type of an investment, it is either the public sector, the governments that will pay something, or the private sector that will pay something, or even people out of their pocket will pay for something. So if we have a good understanding of what is paid, has to have a return to an investment, let's say, then we can make a smarter decision. So what about quality of data is most important. Just to mention that in the health sector, in the health industry, 80% of spending comes from pooled sources. And this means that a big amount of this spending should be very structured in the way that we see why we spend it. So if we do not have a good quality of evidence, we don't have a good quality of data, then we make wrong policy decisions. And this might have an impact on people's health, on people's wellness, but even more importantly, it will have an impact on productivity of societies. It can have an impact on resilience. We did see, Paul, in the recent example of the COVID pandemic, economies that ended up being more resilient to this attack, to this global attack, were economies that had well-structured evidence and numbers, and they could actually make sense out of the investments that they put into health resilience planning, with good health systems, with good pharma sectors, and so on. So if we, as we say in the G20 paper that I will be sharing some of the basic information in the seminar, we wrote a paper for the G20 Health and Development Partnership. So I was honored to be one of the co-authors of this paper. So we have entitled this that if you don't measure it, you can't fix it. So good quality data from health sector in the wider sense, this is pharma, medtech, health systems, anything that has to do with health, is vital to have a smart evidence-based policy making.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is awesome. And also, I think that you're going to present a very interesting pitch on the paradigm shift in health as an investment. So what do you mean by a paradigm shift in health as an investment?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So the paradigm shift means that we should not be viewing health expenditure as a cost, but as an investment that has a return of investment. In order to calculate a return for investment, it is normal to have good quality data. So our aim is to collect data from a big diversity of sources, because we're talking about a very complicated economic system where health data, health investments are not as simple as they were viewed before the corona. So now we do know that if we have, for instance, a vaccination program needs evidence of health impacts that also are connected to evidence of economic impact. So we make these connections. So changing the paradigm shift into viewing expenditure as investments versus viewing it as a mere cost is really important into formulating smart policies. And this is the premises.
Absolutely. And do you think politicians and decision makers are aware of this paradigm shift?
Well, in some countries, we see this moving. Now, the Federal German Republic did adopt having collecting data through a health economy satellite account system. So this has been going on, and we are supporting the government as WifOR Institute in doing this for the past 12 years. We are talking with many governments, and I was very surprised to listen to a panel discussion organized by the US Chamber of Commerce a few months ago, where our founder and CEO, Professor Dennis Oswald, spoke in a panel with the Minister of Health of the United States. And he himself, I was very impressed, mentioned that we should start viewing this expenditure as investments into our economies, into our growth, into our resilience, and to our well-being for societal balance and so on. So yes, this shift is progressively happening, but it cannot happen, dear Paul, if we do not have good quality data. So we advocate for getting stakeholders together and seeing how we can interlink all the data in order to be able to have the health economy reporting, as we call it, and be able to produce smart policies. You know, as the WHO executives say, Dr. Jakob, for instance, it's the smartest investment is investing in health. Why? It pays off. It's an investment that pays. Pays in equality, pays in society, pays in growth.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, I really look forward to see you in Porto in a few weeks' time, and I welcome our viewers who are interested in this conversation to please also register to attend. It's free to attend if you attend remotely, or if you want to join us in presence, there are still a few seats available. Please visit our Health Data Forum website, and we're looking forward to meet each other very soon. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to these great discussions. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll see each other soon, hopefully.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye for now.